What up, YouTubers? This is Steven, and welcome back to another video. And this video is going to be about Utada Hikaru. So, when I was browsing around generation.com, I went to their Utada Hikaru page and I ran across some, random facts about Utada Hikaru, some trivia. And I thought, hey, I ought to share this with, the YouTube community, right? So, shout out to generation.com for this list. Definitely. They're like a great organization or a great website to go to in regards to Asian pop music artists. All right. So basically I'm going to just read down this list, you know, and give my thoughts and opinions. And that's pretty much it. All right, so here we go. When Utada is creatively blocked, she takes baths or tries yoga or Pilates at home. That's interesting. So when Utada has like writer's block or something, she's like, hey, let me take a bath. Let me wash myself up right quick. Or, stretch yourself like, woo, downward dog, or do some crazy Pilates moves. But I wonder outside of that, outside of the being creatively blocked, does she still do yoga and Pilates? Or is it just when she's creatively blocked? I wonder. All right. Next. Utada liked the book Emily the Strange so much that she translated it herself into Japanese. Okay, that's pretty cool, you know? From what I heard, Utada actually doesn't like to translate her songs from Japanese to English, or vice versa. She likes to make songs that are specifically like sung in English and songs that are specifically sung in Japanese. And she doesn't like to do like both because she says like it doesn't translate well. And I could see where she's coming from with that, although I think if she just like she could do it if she really wanted to, you know. And I guess this book is sort of I guess it's easier when it's a book though because it's just prose. You don't have to really worry about a rhyme scheme or staying within sort of the beat or the rhythm, so to speak. But it's cool to see that Utada is translating. And she translated the book into Japanese. Because I would think she may translate from Japanese to English because I feel like she might be. I think she is stronger in English, at least initially. I don't know at this point how it is, but I know at least initially she was stronger in English than Japanese because I remember hearing like when like she first debuted in the Japanese music market, people thought she was a foreigner because of the way she spoke and her pronunciation. And they thought she was a foreigner singing in Japanese, which I guess technically she is, but she is Japanese, like in origin, if you get what I'm saying. But on to the next. Utada loves music that sounds genuine. Okay, and that's a bit odd and random. That is definitely some random stuff. So she likes music that sounds genuine. So music that is played with like acoustic instruments, that type of genuine like ding ding or just music that seems like it comes from the heart, you know. Who knows? All right, next. Utada has a brand of merchandise which features a self-drawn cat named quote unquote Chuichi or Chuichi. I don't know. I guess that is supposed to be a diphthong. I think you and I would be a diphthong. I think a Chuichi. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Utada had a brand of merchandise. I didn't think she was that type. no shade intended, but I kind of thought of Utada maybe a bit more as like the brooding artist who's like, I'm not about selling out, man. You ain't gonna never see me on a Coca-Cola or Pepsi commercial, man. Something like that. But I don't fault her. Get your money. All right, next. In 2001, Utada had both the number one selling album of the year as well as the number one selling single of the year. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. She done took up both spots on the Oricon music charts. Shoot. What were... Okay, what was the single? Automatic? First Love? Because I know the album was First Love, but was the single the song First Love, or was it Automatic? Or I don't know. Probably, I guess, some single off of the First Love album. All right, next. In 2005, Utada was listed as the person who pays the most tax in Japan. Shouldn't it be paid the most taxes? I guess it could be tax. I don't know. So, in 2005, Utada was listed as the person who pays the most tax in Japan. This is the equivalent in Japan of the quote-unquote rich list, as the amount of tax paid is roughly equivalent to the amount of money made. Stars' actual incomes are kept secret, which is why the amount of taxes paid is used. Okay, so let me kind of break that down for you guys just in case you're a little lost. All right. Utada Hikaru in 2005 was the single person who paid the most taxes in Japan. And this list of people who pays the most taxes is the equivalent of like the kind of like the most richest person list, kind of like they do in like the West. Like in the United States, we kind of do that too, where it's like, okay, this celebrity is kind of like the richest celebrity, but in Japan, they can't do that. They can't just point blank tell you how much a celebrity has made, because that is against the law. It is, I believe, it's actually law that stars' actual incomes are kept secret, are kept confidential by law. So that's why they use the tax list instead. And people kind of do the math with the taxes. So like, okay, all right, yeah, she paid the most taxes, so she probably got the most money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why that is, versus just saying that, hey, Utada Hikaru is the richest person, which I guess may not necessarily be true. Just because you're the richest person doesn't mean you necessarily pay the most taxes. It should be like that, but I don't think it is. All right, on to the next. Utada albums rank at numbers 1, 4, and 8 for total album sales in the 2004 Oricon Top 100 albums. Okay, so in 2004, Oricon released like a Top 100 albums list, and Utada took up the number 1 spot, the number 4 spot, and the number 8 spot. So, like, she must be doing something right, because, like, she is in the top 10. She's got the number 1 spot and in the top 10. So, all right now, Utada. Shoot, Utada, she be breaking them records. All right, next. In 2006, Utada's Ultra Blue was the second best-selling original album of the year, only behind Def Tech. Overall, it was the 7th best-selling album of the year, but the 5 other albums were all best-of collections, besides Def Tech's Catch the Wave. Okay, so in 2006, she had the second best original album. So her content on her album was original. It had not been released before, you know, you know, or at least it had not been released before on an album. And she had the seventh best-selling album of 2006 overall, but those were all like best of collections, like the best of such and such, compilation albums. That was material that had already been released before, but put onto a compilation album. So do you, Utada? Ultra Blue, Ultra You. All right. Next, in 2006 on Oricon, Utada was ranked the number one Japanese artist for the most consecutive number one albums, and that's 5 consecutive, not counting Exodus, selling over 500,000 copies on its debut week sales. Okay, all right now. So, like, she had 5 consecutive number one albums that sold over 500,000 copies during its debut week, or during their debut week. So, like, every time she released the album debuted with sales of more than 500,000 copies within the first week, And, this was, she got this record in 2006. So I'm like, okay. So time to be selling records, That's pretty good considering she's a musical artist to be selling records. But I do wonder how Utada factors into the music market now, because she's been absent for a while. So I wonder, how does she factor into this current music market in Japan? So I'm really interested in Utada's return to the music industry. I really want to see how that plays out. All right, next. She likes vinegar and sometimes drinks it straight from the bottle with a straw. Wow. Isn't drinking vinegar kind of good for you? I mean, I don't do it, but I heard it's supposed to be good for you. And I guess she likes it. So you're doing something that you like and it's good for you. Good for you. Thumbs up to you, Utada. All right, next. She is a Tetris genius and once went up against Tetris assassins, people specifically chosen by Nintendo to play against her. Okay, so I didn't really know there was a such thing as a Tetris genius, but apparently there is, and Utada is that, or at least one of them. And she has went up against Tetris assassins, and I guess she did really well and won. I guess. I wonder if they're footage, because there are video game tournaments that are recorded and posted on YouTube. So perhaps maybe there's a clip of this floating around on YouTube somewhere. All right. Next, she is the only solo artist that has had 4 of her singles in the top 10 at the same time. Okay. Whoa. So she had 4 singles occupying, spots within the top 10 at the same time. So, that's pretty cool. That looks like, people are really checking for Utada then. I don't know when this all happened though. But wow. Utada is definitely a record setter. All right, next. She is well known for having very few appearances on television. Almost none when promoting something. Okay, so she doesn't... I tell you, Utada is just a different kind of person sometimes. She don't want to do no television appearances. But, okay, on one hand, okay. But I hope for her comeback, for her return, I hope that she does do some television appearances and interviews and stuff. Considering that she's been going for so long, I think that would be nice for her fans to really have, to hear something from Utada instead of just releasing the album and just saying, here, buy it, without giving any interviews or even some promotional performances, like something, you know, or she can at least just do one good, solid interview, on like a very popular, um, network, television network in Japan, and just do that if she doesn't want to do like the kind of like the media rounds where you're going to this talk show or this show, then this morning show, then this late show, then this daytime talk show, our afternoon talk show. You know what I'm saying. All right. Next, in 2010, according to Oricon, Utada ranked number 4 in the top. Let's see. Utada ranked number 4 in the top of best-selling female artists of all time in Japan, and number 9 overall with more than 35 million albums and singles sold in Japan. All right, so right there, Utada is ranked as the number 4 best-selling female artist of all time in Japan, and she is ranked as the number 9, or the 9th best-selling music artist of all time in Japan, including both men and women. She ranks as number 9, including women only. She ranks as number 4. So she is on, she on the top there, she in the conversation, So good for you, Utada. Does Utada get like accusations of nepotism because her parents were a part of the music industry and then she was able to get into the music industry? I don't think so. Just because Utada has been able to not only use that but also take it to like the next level, like the next level, But her being in the industry, having connections to the industry, did help her break into the industry, though. While other artists had not had those connections and came from the working class, Utada did not come from the working class. So, that played to her advantage to have those connections. I'm just saying. No shade intended. All right, next. She's been named the most influential artist of the 2000s in Japan. Really? By what organization? And how is Utada so influential? No shade. I'm just saying. Is it because of like her music, her fashion, her music videos? Well, her music videos ain't nothing special usually. But in what way? Let's see. Next, she is the only artist who has the best-selling debut album. Well, scratch that. She is the only artist who has the best-selling debut single, quote unquote, Automatic / Time Will Tell, with over 2 million sales worth in both versions of the sales combined. And the best-selling album, First Love, which is Japan's best-selling album ever, selling over 7 million copies. So basically, she has like the best-selling debut single, which that is pretty good. This debut with sales of over 2 million for your single, and for your debut album, she's like has the best-selling album in Japan, period. Let's see. Her album, First Love, is the best-selling Asian album with over 10 million copies sold worldwide. Wow. Right. Utada has definitely made a mark in this industry. And despite her even being absent from this industry, she's probably one of those people that can be absent for so long, but then come back and still like sell records. And I give Utada credit for being able to do that, definitely. For me, I'm a little like, no disrespect intended. But sometimes I'm like, what's the appeal? But then again, some people might be asking me what's the appeal to like my, super favorite Japanese pop music artists. And then, sometimes you can see the appeal and get it, sometimes you can't. But I think maybe Utada's appeal is maybe that she is so like she has had so much success, but she's very relatable and very almost like ordinary. Like, her beauty is something that you can obtain, not like, you have to go through such length to get the Utada look. Um, and like she's maybe really relatable and she writes her own music perhaps, writes her own lyrics. And she plays the piano, I think, from what I heard, and maybe another instrument too. But yeah, she definitely plays some piano. And that definitely adds to her artistry. And she has a good voice, but sometimes I feel like Utada holds back when she sings, at least from the studio versions of what I heard Utada sing. Sometimes I would really like to see a vocal performance from Utada where she kind of really just goes all out in the voice and just goes for it. Because I think she can do it. I think she holds back, and I think that maybe because okay, she wants to have a place to go when she does live performances, so she can be like, whoa, like over the top and have people in the audience like, whoa, like they didn't expect that, perhaps. You know. So just in case you didn't figure out, this is the end of the list. I've gotten to the end of the list, and that's all I got. So thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. And to the next video, adios and goodbye for now.